Speaking of top players, let's move on to our second team and let's talk about Stanford and the Cardinals here. And they have two, which I consider top 10 players in the nation, Stephen, and Haley Jones and Cameron Brink. Yes, they're going to miss some players like Lexi Hall, who's doing a fantastic job with Indiana Fever. Although the Fever didn't have a great year, Lexi did really good. She broke out, especially towards the end of the year. She's going to have a great career in the WNBA. Missing Lacey Hall, missing, Anna Wilson. They did a great job there, but I think Tara Van Devers is going to be able to, figure it out, get it back together. And I'm sure that we'll see Stanford continue their reign and be right in the mix, just like we discussed with South Carolina, Steve.
Absolutely. And Van Devers teams always play solid defense. They don't make a lot of mistakes. So that allows them to capitalize on the special talents like Haley Jones, who her coach has dubbed as being the Magic Johnson of the women's game. Now, that's pretty lofty praise. I mean, she's 6'1", so she's not 6'9" like Magic, but it gives you an idea of just the breadth of skill sets that Jones has. She had to be rotated into a point guard field general position because of injuries and graduations last year. She adapted, she blossomed, and I think she's going to get serious run as for Player of the Year if everything falls into place for her. I mean, she's a very steadying influence on the court. Even when she was younger, even as a freshman, she just had that it that a Matt Johnson would have. So you can see why that comparison really came there. But Cameron Brink, she's projected by Lindy's and The Athletic to be a second-team All-American. It would not surprise me if she ends up evolving into the story and the player on this Cardinal roster. I mean, she just does everything well. She could, she can rebound, she can shoot the perimeter, she can shoot the shots in the paint. She just does everything well. And she's a matchup problem for a lot of teams, even the elite teams, even the top 10 teams. She's a matchup problem. So I think starting off with those two, I think it's really, really important. Stanford also added the number one freshman recruit in the nation in Laura Betts. She's 6'7". So theoretically, she's still growing into her body. So for her to grow to 6'9", it would not be all that surprising. But even at 7,
yeah,
she's going to be, again, another matchup problem. And she's someone else that can do everything. She plays defense. She can rebound. She can shoot inside. She can shoot outside. This is a player that is going to be a national player of the year within 2 or 3 years. That's how good that she is. Considering how many really talented freshmen are coming into the women's side of the game now. It's not like sporadic. I mean, there is a regular flow of 5-star talent coming in to college basketball. For her to be the number one and for her to go to a team that arguably, had they not graduated their entire starting backcourt, you would maybe be arguing harder for them to be the number one team preseason. I mean, as good as South Carolina is, that's how good Stanford is. But this is another team that you have to say something has to go wrong for them not to make the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Pac-12 is going to be a very competitive conference. And we talked about just how important it was for TV deals to add into Stanford and the Pac-12 to do that. But when you look at the competition for Stanford, I believe they're on a different tier compared to probably who is in second place or third place, like Oregon or UCLA in the women's conference. We're not going to really get to those teams in today's 10. Doesn't mean they're not bad teams. Both those teams are ranked in the top 25 and they deservedly should. But Stanford, I think, is at another level in that Pac-12. I would be shocked to see them not win the Pac-12 championship this year. I think the women Cardinals are going to be fantastic. They're going to continue it on. And even with the absence of, both the Hulls and Anna Wilson, I think they do have a great chance to find themselves back into the Final Four.